I don't think it's going to be players. And my contention has never been that the players, other than quarterback, that the Broncos have are bad. Actually, offensive line and, well, tight end, too. I don't really have a tight end. Running back's not great either. But generally speaking, I think the talent on the roster is good. The talent on the roster is good enough to be at least 500. My problem here is Vance Joseph's brain. I do not think that Vance Joseph is qualified to be a head coach in the NFL. I think that last year was pretty much all Exhibit A, everything. I'm not telling you something you don't know. I think I saw somewhere earlier today, Vance Joseph has been called out. Oh, we got to get to this. I saw on social media earlier today that Woody Page was on Altitude, and he's telling Scott Hastings, Whoopik Suey, he was telling Scott Hastings that he thinks that Vance Joseph's going to get fired after the 49ers game. And, I mean, stealing my takes? I mean, Woody Page? Come on, Woody. You're trying to steal my takes? And don't give me this, I don't know who you are crap. You were following me on Twitter for quite some time, Woody. Broncos fans are smarter than people give them credit for. I think they're smarter than the average NFL fan, and they kind of they're quiet about it a little bit, but they all kind of know whether or not the team's going to be any good, and they can tell. I think people last year, it was a little bit of a surprise to them. It wasn't a surprise to me. I've nailed this team since I got here. I knew exactly how bad they were going to be, and they were, and the reasons why were exactly the reasons why, and now all of a sudden everybody's like speaking my language, criticizing John Elway and saying, hey, I think you're screwing up the team, John. I think you maybe need to do something a little different there. Because they want people to be excited. They're really pushing product right now. Like a used car salesman. They have shined up their Vance Joseph, and they are pushing that out onto the showroom floor. Like, come on, guys, let's move some units. Let's see what we can do today. Let's hit a quota. They are really pushing product right now. The Broncos know what's coming. I think this is an indication. It's a big, bright sign that says we're not going to be good this year. And I know that there's hope. We've talked about this before. There's teams you trust in. There's teams you hope in. And the Broncos are a team that we're hoping are going to be good, but we have no trust or belief in them to do that. So that's fine. I'm just saying that 1650 just screams, please, let's not have empty seats. If an NFL team is selling their product for less than $75 a ticket, I kind of question what's going on. What, people not going to games? What's your strategy here? You're trying to find your price point. Because there are a lot of, it doesn't matter what the price is in New England. They're going to drive out into the wilderness. Have you ever been to Gillette Stadium? It is in the middle of nowhere. And they're just like, I don't know, like drones, like bees heading out towards, it's mindless. They all go out there and they just pay hundreds of dollars to watch Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and then beat off for 3.5 hours. That's not what the situation is in Denver right now. That you guys are not zombies to the Broncos right now. And I applaud 1650. I think that's good for fans. I really like that people are looking at that and saying, okay, hey, maybe it's attainable. I can go to a Broncos game this year. That's good. And I think it's good that the organization really pays attention to the fans that way. I just think that that also means that they can't sell them for more because they absolutely would if they could. This is the last week that we really have without any football. Next weekend, we got football, right? We got the Hall of Fame game coming up. T.O. isn't going to be mentioned at all. We'll see how that goes. But I really want people to focus in here on what I'm trying to tell you about Denver. The Broncos are going to have good players. Shane Ray's going to be healthy. I think that's not necessarily a given, but I think it does close to. I'm really optimistic about Shane Ray because typically, when a guy gets hurt like that, spends a year off, usually they come back and they're in pretty good shape. So I think Shane Ray is going to come back and he's going to be really, really good. I'm in on Derek Wolfe's neck. I think the neck is going to be good. Derek Wolfe's already had some really great comments. He's also got dreads, which, as we all know, that adds like 3 or 4 points onto your speed in Madden. So clearly, I think Derek Wolfe's going to be a faster, leaner Derek Wolfe. It's going to be probably a little bit crazier. I think dreads also make you crazier. I think that's obviously always true. He's going to look a little bit like a very large predator. And I think that having that on the defensive line is really going to help you. Brent, training camp is free. You just have to walk through their T-shirt store 7 times to get to the field. That's right. And look, they move some product in Broncos country. They really do. Everybody in this town has something that's orange and blue. So, they've done a good job of pushing merch. You had a lot of units. You get a lot of Von Miller jerseys. And by the way, Von Miller leads all defensive players in the league in jersey sales, which that's a big deal. So I clearly the Broncos know what they're doing when it comes to pushing merchandise. So I'm not knocking the business strategy. I'm just saying the business strategy at this point is dictated by the fact that they don't think people want to go to the games this year. Let's see, 2018 Super Bowl champs. Glad you're on board, Cracker Craig. Let's see. It's our year. It's like a Zelda.
Hey guys, Benjamin Albright, NFL Underground. I want to talk to you today about the Phantom Football Forum. Designed to give you greater access to me. You get the latest intel, insider information, rumors, news, notes, injury information, Vegas lines, fantasy football, power rankings. Watch football games live with me. Phantom Football Forum. Only $1 for your first month if you sign up today. Facebook.com/WatchPhantom. Link right here. Come join us today.
Hey everybody, welcome to Noon O'Clock. I'm TJ Carpenter, live here on Phantom, right here at Broncos Training Camp, as you can see behind me. This is the radio station I work for in Denver. And so if you're in Denver, if you want to listen to us mornings 7 to 9, 1340 a.m. on Mile High Sport, that would be great. That would be just spectacular. You can sext us on our sext line. And if you want to sext us here on Facebook, I think as long as, I think if no one reports it, I think we're good. So, yeah, just go right ahead. Post what you will. And we'll see if we can get to it, throughout the course of the show. All right. So topics for today. Number 1, who's good and who sucks at Broncos camp? We're going to talk about that. Because there's some things that are going well out here for the Broncos, and there's some things that are going poorly. So we're going to talk about both of those. Also on the show today, breaking, very important depth chart released by the Broncos on Tuesday. We're going to break that down position by position. We're not going to do that. We are going to discuss on some level, mostly tongue-in-cheek, what the Broncos have decided to do with their first depth chart, which, as I mentioned before, is very, very important. We got a lot of battles going on here. Waging war, positions, guys figuring out pad levels are really important right now. All kinds of very intense things going on out here at Broncos Training Camp, and we have you covered. Also today, I profess my love for a man. That man's name is Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron of the Green Bay Packers is, if I was given the opportunity to make him my boyfriend, I think I might. He is just wonderful in every way. And you know what's great about Aaron Rodgers, just to go off on an aside here for a moment. He is very comfortable with how disagreeable he is, which I really, really respect. Disagreeable people do not usually have that much self-awareness. He does, and so I'm really happy that he has decided to basically become the LeBron James of the NFL, which we will get into that coming up a little bit later on the show. As always, I want to tell you about our sponsors, BetDSI.com. You go there, you use the promo code Phantom. They will match your money up to $2,500. So if $2,500 for free. You are making money by signing up on the site. So just by virtue of signing up, by agreeing to partake in BetDSI and wagering on their website, they're giving you money. And I think that's a lot of people's, sometimes their concern is that, I don't really know what I'm doing. There's an unpredictable nature. It's gambling. And look, gambling has really been normalized over the last 10, 15 years in a good way. It's not nearly as taboo as maybe it was 50, 60 years ago or what have you. But look, I think BetDSI is one of the best betting websites out there. Go to betdsi.com, use the promo code PHANTOM, F-A-N-T-O-M, and when you sign up, you get up to $2,500 matched on your first deposit. What I'm telling people to do is this. Put $100 in. You get $100 from BetDSI. That's $200. $50 on each bet, and I'm going to give you 4 season-long wagers at the end of this week that you need to make, and you're going to make money on all of them. So that's my personal guarantee, and if it doesn't happen, then, we'll try again next time. I'm not giving you any sort of refund or anything like that. Just wanted to be clear on that, just right there on the end. Just a little disclaimer, I need no refunds. But my insight is flawless, as always. So, but I'm not responsible if I'm wrong. But I will not be wrong, because I'm never wrong. So there's all of that we'll talk about. And then, of course, too, as always, I always want to mention Brent Malia Properties. TJ'sagent.com is where you go online to find out more about Brent. Get in contact with Brent. He is a great follow on social media. He's on Facebook on these chats a lot. So if you're looking for a house in Denver, I trust Brent Malia explicitly because I still ask him for advice even after we bought our house. I get advice from him about all kinds of stuff, laying tile, what kinds of air conditioners we should have installed, all those kinds of things, because he is a wealth of knowledge and experience. And when you have somebody like that in your Rolodex, you use them. So go to tjsagent.com and get in contact with Brent. If you're looking for a house in Denver, he will hook you up. You will not be disappointed in what you get from Brent Malia. Also, too, if you need help with your mortgage, go to PlatteRiverMortgage.com. Sean Sedita helped us out with our credit. We had a couple of glitches there. We got signed up at the best possible rate for a mortgage for our brand new house, thanks to Platte River Mortgage. So go to PlatteRiverMortgage.com. Contact Sean Sedita today. He helped us. He can help you as well when you're trying to make your life here in Denver and have a home for a family. That's what my wife and I wanted to do. They helped us realize that, and they can help you do the same thing. So check out PlatteRiverMortgage.com. If you need a mortgage, check out TJ'sagent.com with Brent Malia with Coldwell Banker, and if you're looking for a house in Denver. All right, guys, let's get to the comments here. I haven't seen any comments yet. Let's roll through these really quick. Jenna, by the way, Jenna Garcia has been out here covering Broncos Training Camp. She's going to join us here in just a second. Patrick, what's up, Patrick? By the way, check out Oscar Blues. We're going to be, hopefully we'll be out there a lot this football season. We're planning on it, and I'm really excited about everything that we're doing here on Phantom. And obviously, as you guys have seen in the past, Oscar Blues is a huge part of what we like to do. And they were a big part of our World Cup coverage, which I know you guys really enjoyed, but we specialize in football. So don't forget, football season is where Phantom shines. All right, Craig, what's up, Craig? Let's see, Ari, let's talk about how bad True Detective Season 1 was. You are like a dog with a bone with your theory. Let me explain something to you guys. Ari Temkin thinks that the ending of True Detective Season 1 invalidates the entire series on its own, in the entire first season, which was critically acclaimed. It won a ton of awards. It's one of the highest rated Rotten Tomato TV shows of all time. And Ari's theory is that since the ending wasn't what he wanted, that it's a bad show. Start to finish, True Detective is, I would say, one of the best television shows of all time. So Season 1 was great. Season 2 was an abject disaster. But Season 1, I'm sticking to my guns here. Season 1 of True Detective was phenomenal. All right, and by all means, I welcome your theories, Ari, and you can just get eaten alive by our very wise commenters. Let's see here. Nice beard. Thank you very much. What's up, Craig? Craig's also saying a good afternoon to Jenna. Jenna's going to be joining me here in just a second. Wade says position by position, tongue-in-cheek. Never heard of that position. It's right next to tight end. Tongue-in-cheek is right next to Jake Butt at tight end. Eric says, one political comment and I am out. Okay. Ari says, should Chad Kelly be starting? Shut up, Ari. Just shut up. Wade says, Trump sucks. Bye. Ari says, go on, Eric. Eric says, I don't want to hear any form of a sports commentary guy or the athletes, not their role. Okay, Eric, I feel like you're probably going to invite this conversation onto the show if you keep going down this path. Wade says, why isn't it? It's everyone's role to dispense the truth. Joey, Chad Kelly is not ready to start. He deserves the backup job, though. Well, compared to Paxton Lynch, yes, because Paxton Lynch is a waste of a roster spot. And I say that objectively. He is not qualified to be on any NFL team at this point, unless you're talking about converting him to a tight end. Because at this point, Paxton Lynch, I have never seen, ever, I have never seen a player get as many chances as Paxton Lynch has gotten with the Broncos, and at no point show any improvement or development at all. He has never changed. He's the exact same player that he was the day they drafted him, which is just, that's nutso. It's crazy. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and start off with who sucks and not who's good. I was going to try to start off with who's good. Joining me here on right off over to the side. Come on in, Jenna. Let's see there. Is that better? Let's see. Jenna's shirt. You can see through Jenna's shirt for some reason. Oh, it's because it's green. Yeah, Don't say you can see through my shirt. You can see through your shirt. You can see.
It's an appropriate shirt.
You can see through Jenna's shirt right now because I have the green screen activated. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can just yeah. All right. There we go. That's better. Now people can't see through your shirt anymore.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Okay. So who's good and who sucks? This is Jenna Garcia's time to shine. If you haven't been following her activities on social media, on the social meds, as I like to call them.
Because it's very uncool.
Is it uncool?
Yes. TJ's always saying things that I don't understand. People my age don't understand. We're like only a few years apart, and he's always acting like like he's 200-year-old man.
I am not no, I don't act like that. You treat me that way. I think there's a lot of projection. I think you look at me and you think that I am I'm old fuddy-duddy.
You do have grays, you know.
I do have a lot of
grays.
I do.
Ari said he wanted to know what fat cartoon character I thought you were because I had called him a fat cartoon character. I said he looked like a skinny
Peter Griffin.
Because
he has a butt chin.
That's correct. But I didn't say he
Although
was
I
fat.
will say Peter Griffin kind of has more of a balls chin than a butt chin. It's not a butt chin. It's like a ball. It's like balls on his face.
It's two.
I think they actually made a joke on Family Guy about that once. Let's see. Craig says, call Lloyd Moody to pick up your dog poo. I don't understand any of those words, Craig. Joey says, Sutton looks amazing, honestly. Will be a great wide receiver for us. Sutton does look really good. I've said this multiple times on the morning show, Jenna. I've said it here on Noon O'Clock. Courtland Sutton, I don't know if he's going to translate immediately to being like a 1,000-yard receiver or anything, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I actually was surprised when you said your man crush is Aaron Rodgers because all you can do is talk about two other men, Patrick Mahomes or Courtland Sutton.
Right.
So I'm shocked that you thought Aaron Rodgers was your man crush for the day. Sutton's been playing great. Obviously, his size is a huge asset out here, especially on those red zone passes.
On the red zone passes.
That's what that's what they've been practicing more than anything where I've seen him shine. Of course, when they practice on the far field, it's pretty tough to see from here.
Why is Craig putting people's phone numbers on the chat? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
All right, so guys who have looked good out at training camp are Courtland Sutton. We've talked about Courtland Sutton. He's looked really good.
Bradley Chubb has looked pretty good. I was concerned whether or not he'd make that transition well. It seems like he's doing just fine. I also think Case Keenum has looked really good out here, which is great. But outside of those three guys, I don't know if we can really champion anybody else. I mean, Von Miller always looks good, but I don't need to tell people that.
I thought Phillip Lindsay looked really good.
Phillip Lindsay?
Yeah, I liked what he was doing out there. I think he's working really hard.
I mean,
he's pushing for the spot.
He is. Well, he's like fourth string. He's the fourth string running back right now. He's the first string kick returner. And what I think is weird about this, and this is kind of getting into our who sucks category now, is I think it's way easier to cut Isaiah McKenzie today than it was a week ago when this depth chart wasn't out here. Because now that we know that they are legit, like seriously, genuinely interested in keeping Phillip Lindsay, it looks like he's almost guaranteed to make the team now. That would really concern me if I'm Isaiah McKenzie. It should.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about in any sport, and I think we've argued about this plenty of times. The players that I like are usually the hardest working players. Even if they're not performing the best, they're working the hardest, and I think that eventually will pay off. So I like what I'm seeing out of Phillip Lindsay.
Wade says, tongue-in-cheek, Jake Butt, gross. What, Wade? What? I don't understand.
Wade's job is to not interfere at all with this programming.
I said tongue-in-cheek is right next to tight end. That's played by Jake Butt.
That's correct.
Tongue-in-cheek. She's doing her hair, getting ready.
I did. I had to get ready. It's because the
camera. Is that what you were doing?
You see, the camera flips your face.
You were doing
by
this?
the way, everyone. The camera flips your face. My face is like the opposite side. I don't know. It's always weird to me. That's why Ari Temkin never knows which way to point to his slide. It's the best part of his show.
Yep.
But so TJ's face doesn't even look like this. It's actually flipped the other direction.
Really? My face doesn't look like my face?
No, I don't think my face looks like my face when we're on camera. I'm always like, that's the wrong side of my face. It's on the opposite side.
Why is this? I've never understood this. Why do people have sides of their face that they favor? I've never had that. I've always just looked at my face and been like, they're both pretty great. I don't know.
Well,
there's not really any difference between the two sides of my face. I don't have a good side. They're both good sides.
Yeah. That's TJ Carpenter for you. He also has legs the size of Bo Jackson, according to him. So
I have really impressive thighs.
They're smaller than my thighs.
They're really impressive thighs. I just need to get back in the gym.
They're about the size of a small, like 15-year-old girl's thighs. That's what I would say.
You're saying
TJ
I have
just has a really big
teenage girl thighs. That's what you're telling me?
Teenage girl thighs. So Ari looks like a skinny. What is that guy's name? Peter Griffin. And you look like a teenage girl with chicken legs.
Ari said, you need to turn off chroma key. Man, I am so far behind on these comments.
Thank you.
I think I got sidetracked during your stream just before I was going to correct you. It's all good, LOL. I don't know what that means. Jenna looks like the daughter from the Addams Family. You don't have the bangs, though.
Ari's just trying to come at me with a comeback because my Peter Griffin was so good on his show.
Patrick says he's ecstatic about the signing of Bobo at wide receiver. When healthy, he's one of the best I've seen play the game. I don't know if they're going to have room for – because you're right. I mean, Bobo's a good wide receiver, but the Broncos have so many wide receivers. They've got like 30 wide receivers on their roster right now. I don't know where he fits. Because the top four are set. Deshaun Hamilton, Courtland Sutton, Emmanuel Sanders, and Demaryius Thomas are set. And if they're going to carry more than two tight ends on the team this year, then they may cut they may carry one less receiver. They usually carry 6, but they may carry 5, just 5 receivers.
We're kind of getting into the depth chart, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I haven't talked about all the suck players yet, though.
Oh, tell us who you think sucks, please.
How is Josie looking? Joey asking about Josie. Josie Jewell is backup linebacker, and I think that you can't really tell with inside linebackers because a lot of that position is about pad level and making sure you can stop the run effectively, and you can't really simulate that out of practice. But assignment-wise, he's been fine. I didn't think he had a chance to really crack the starting lineup. Before training camp. That hasn't changed. So maybe it might change after Saturday's game. I don't know, but
yeah. Saturday, you got any hot takes for Saturday's game?
Hot takes
Yeah.
about Saturday's game?
Yeah. What do you think is the craziest thing that's going to happen in Saturday's game?
I think Isaiah McKenzie is going to fumble another punt.
How about opposite of that? Isaiah McKenzie will run one back for a touchdown. Then it'll be a real debate. Will they keep him or not?
God, that would be terrible.
It's
That would be awful. The worst thing that could happen to the Broncos is that Isaiah McKenzie looks good in preseason.
It would be like Isaiah McKenzie being bipolar. Looks terrible. Looks great.
You
looks
don't.
Terrible.
No one wants Isaiah McKenzie on this team. No one.
I bet you could find one person on the team that wants Isaiah McKenzie.
One guy. Well, they'd all say they do, but does anybody really want Isaiah McKenzie on the Broncos this year? Do you? I don't. Think about this. Isaiah McKenzie fumbled a punt 5 times last year. 5.
Yeah, that's about 4 too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, is that usually that never happens in one season from a punt returner because you don't get a chance to fumble the ball 5 times.
Right.
So that's 2 problems. One, Isaiah McKenzie doesn't have the mentality to be a punt returner in this league. You got to kind of have a kamikaze mentality.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that, clearly. He is too afraid of getting hit, and he takes his focus off the ball. And so you add that to the fact that not only was that a problem, but so was the fact the coaching staff refused to go to another player to return punts. So he fumbled the ball 5 times.
So if he fumbles the ball in regular season, let's say he makes it to regular season, he fumbles the ball, who gets fired? Anybody?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
This is the story of my life, by the way. If TJ has headphones on or is not making direct eye contact with you, he's not listening to you. He might look like he's listening to you. He might be looking directly past you at something behind you, but he's not listening to you. He's got a real listening problem.
I was looking at this comment. Wade says his theory is that if one believes they have a good side, then they lack symmetry, which is weird.
Exactly. I was going to say that earlier, that people consider, like, they've done a study. People with a more symmetrical face are considered more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So the more symmetrical your face is, usually you look good from either side and you look good straight on. The less symmetrical your face is, you might give preference to one side.
I think my face is pretty symmetrical.
Of course you
do. It's like probably like 98, 99 percentile. Like,
I see a big bump above your eyebrow.
I do have a large bump. I have a
scar right here.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah.
This thing?
That's not.
Who was that? Ryan Gosling. What about Ryan Gosling?
Symmetrical.
No. His
Quite
face
symmetrical.
he has 2 different faces. Google it right now. Google the 2 faces of Ryan Gosling. It's weird. He has 2, granted beautiful, but very different sides of his face.
So he just got lucky, and he's not symmetrical at all, but he's handsome on both sides.
He's handsome on both sides, but it's 2 different faces that have been smushed together. His eyes don't line up. His mouth is crooked. See that?
He looks insanely symmetrical.
No. That's just the right side of his face. They've mirrored the right side of his face.
Oh, okay.
Wait. So look at this. Look at this.
Look at this one.
You got to pull it, show it to the camera.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty wild. Wait, let's make it bigger.
It's crazy. He still looks like Ryan Gosling in both images, but he has 2 separate faces.
Let's try this. How about that? Nope.
Man, you don't... do you not know how to use Google? Google image search is like the easiest thing on the web to use, and you are making it very complicated.
Then how do I get to just this image?
I don't understand.
I don't understand why
you use. How do you use the internet? How do you function?
All the time.
How do you function?
Totally normal. Look at how creepy that looks.
That's his normal face.
That is not his normal face.
That is his normal face.
It's Ryan Gosling versus Ryan.
Oh my God! Now we've totally gone off.
See, one side is Ryan Reynolds.
Let's see here. Wade, I'm slightly okay with that, actually. What are you saying here? Man, I have just gotten so. Ari is a bad pointer. Your eyes are stunning, Jenna. Craig loves your eyes. That's the symmetry theory. Cool. Steelers can take him. Steelers can take Isaiah McKenzie. They wouldn't use. What would the Steelers use Isaiah McKenzie for? The Steelers wouldn't use Isaiah McKenzie for anything. They've got Antonio Brown to return punts. which is still kind of crazy to me, but they do that.
Who
I don't
could
think
use Isaiah McKenzie?
Who could use Isaiah McKenzie? The Sooners, the Oklahoma Sooners.
Wow.
I think they could use Isaiah McKenzie. I think.
Let's hope Isaiah McKenzie doesn't ever hear your take on him.
That's. You think he would be upset?
I
was a big look. I
bit.
got Isaiah McKenzie totally wrong because I thought he looked great last year at training camp, and then he sucked.
Well, maybe he did look great, but everything else at training camp was so shitty that he looked phenomenal. It could have been that.
Let's see. Broncos are going to be the 2018 Super Bowl champions. No, they're not, Craig. Steelers about to send Le'Veon Bell to the Raiders for Khalil Mack. That's an interesting rumor. That's that would. I think hurt them more than help them. As good as I think Le'Veon Bell is and as good as I think Khalil Mack is, I think Khalil Mack plays a more valuable position than Le'Veon Bell does.
I'm so tired of hearing about who's going where and who's not getting what money and who. It's like you're making millions of dollars. Just shut up. Just stay where you are. Just be happy that you get to play football. You get to be a little 7-year-old boy basically for the entire rest of your life.
All
football players
who may be ripped in half by an angry James Harrison. At some point.
Yes.
I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. I mean, they are putting their bodies on the line, and they're risking massive brain disease later in life to entertain people.
But they love this sport. They know what they're getting into at this point. I think you can justify nowadays that football players know what you're getting into. They know that football's a dangerous sport. They know that there's a lot of head injuries. They know how to avoid those head injuries. I mean, if this is what you want to do, just be happy with the money you're getting. I'm tired of hearing, I can't believe you're on Aaron Rodgers' side right now.
I'm on Aaron Rodgers. You can't believe I'm on Aaron Rodgers' side?
Yeah.
About abolishing the franchise tag?
I just can't believe you're on. Like, I just don't understand why all these players are just nitpicking at different things to pick at. Just play football, please.
It's because the owners have set the tone of what that relationship is like by being huge assholes for decades. And so if you are an asshole for, let's just ballpark it and say 40 years, which is what probably around that, right? Most of these owners have been around the league for at least 40 years.
But it's not like they've affected you for 40 years. Your personal life.
No,
they've affected you for a few years. Whatever, you're going to end up finishing out, playing the game you love with a ton of money.
Yeah.
Being incredibly famous. What more do you want?
I mean, they want respect is what they want, and they're not getting it.
All men are exactly the same.
What is that supposed to mean?
That's literally, there's a whole theory about how all men want in relationships is to be respected. Like, women want love, and men just want to be respected.
Yeah, women want empathy and control. I think that's mainly what they want.
Interesting type of women you've been dealing with. I don't know.
Well,
Control,
definitely empathy. I think empathy for sure. Yeah, I don't know, but that is a male thing. Yes, to want respect, but I don't think that's wrong.
But you have
money.
Do
you want respect?
You have fame.
Yeah.
So you have fame and fortune.
Right.
And you get to do what you want for work every day, and you still are gonna bitch about not being respected?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
I hate what's wrong with you guys? Women would be happy with one of those things.
One?
Fame.
Yeah.
Great. I'm good. Money. Great. Fantastic. Fulfilled.
Well, what about Serena Williams' controversy with not being allowed to play if you're pregnant, or being dropping 200 spots in where she ranked worldwide?
I don't think that's a.
I mean, she wants respect. She deserves respect.
I don't know if that's. I guess you could label
the
that as a
wealthiest female athlete of all
issue.
time.
I think maybe it's more of a health issue and an issue of her stats speak for themselves.
Aaron Rodgers don't.
Yes, but he's talking about something that's totally separate from being on the field. If he was talking about oh, Aaron Rodgers, you're not allowed to play because your wife just had a baby.
Uh-huh.
The only reason that even is a controversy with Serena Williams is because women have to carry the baby, and that's if it was a dude, not an issue.
But I mean, that's just sort of the reality of biology. I mean, I don't know how to.
Yeah,
I don't know how to change that about that stuff, and she has a right to.
But it directly affects her ability to be on her court or field.
So are you?
Aaron Rodgers is complaining about stuff that doesn't direct.
So you're siding with tennis? I don't understand. I don't
It's
understand
not tennis versus football in this
No,
conversation.
you're siding with tennis
We're
over
talking about
Serena, and you're
athlete-
siding with the league over Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You are.
I'm not siding with tennis over Serena. I'm saying
You are.
Serena has a point because she is directly affects her ability to play her sport. Where I'm saying Aaron Rodgers' issue, like he's just kind of finding something to complain about it. Like
He's
his
not-
name wasn't in the news for a little while, so he got
You think
jealous or something.
you think Aaron Rodgers is a camera chaser? That he just loves the spotlight?
He's like, Brett Favre did the whole picture thing. I
Aaron
can't
Rodgers
be
is
doing
one of the
that."
most private players in the league.
Then why is he bringing this up right now? Does he genuinely have does
He
this
has an
affect his
opinion.
ability to play football?
He has an opinion.
Does
and
it affect his ability to be on the field?
The franchise tag?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
In what way?
I mean, if he's not getting what he believes he deserves to be paid, then he may not play on the field. Period.
What he deserves to be what he thinks he deserves to be paid.
Okay, all right. So Aaron Rodgers, you think, has an inflated opinion of himself to the point to where he's asking for too much money?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
You don't like Aaron Rodgers
I'm not.
because?
Because I love Brett Favre and
Well, I love Aaron Rodgers. You are a Favre fan? That's your
prior
reason?
to his little scandals
Your
that he
reason-
started doing. But I'm talking about just as an athlete, just as a football player, okay? Just as a pure football player.
You like, but even as a football player, like Brett Favre was fun to watch, but he wasn't like, he's not as good as Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers is 10 times the quarterback Brett Favre was. Brett Favre is kind of.
Are we basing it on rings like every other sport?
Brett Favre did not know what a nickel defense was by his third year in the league.
So you're saying Brett Favre is practically Paxton Lynch?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Aaron Rodgers is clearly better. Let's see here. Patrick.
Yeah, let's get to the comment.
Patrick says, I would cry if we took Isaiah McKenzie. Next on TMZ, Isaiah McKenzie goes Marquette King on TJ Carpenter for disparaging remarks against him. for saying that he's fumbled the ball 5 times and that.
See, TJ doesn't see it that way. He sees it as he's quoting statistics. To
It's
you.
true. He did fumble the ball 5 times.
But you're giving your opinion in there by saying he's terrible.
He is. He's objectively awful. He can't catch the ball.
Say the stat without the.
If somebody could catch the ball for him and hand it to him, then
he could run the ball.
He could run the ball.
Okay.
But
So he's a good runner. He's got better legs than your teenage girl legs.
No, he does not. I have really impressive legs. He's a skinny guy too. I'd tower over Isaiah McKenzie.
You're short. What kind of tower are you talking
Isaiah
about?
McKenzie is only like 5'8".
No.
Yeah.
For sure?
Yeah.
I think I have the list right here. Let's check out how tall he is. Let's check out how tall he is.
Patrick says this conversation has taken a turn. What is expected of the Vikings? Of the Vikings against the Broncos, I think that they're. Nothing. I don't really think. Are you talking about season expectations? I mean, because the Vikings might be the best team in the NFC, other than the Eagles. So that's probably where they're looking, is to duplicate that success or improve upon that success from last season. They've got great wide receivers. They got an elite level defense. They've got Kirk Cousins now, who's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, I think the expectations have to be really high for Minnesota. If you want to talk about, and I have to go back to our who's good and who sucks at Broncos camp. Let's talk about Paxton Lynch here for a second. Here's your hot take. Because I said Paxton Lynch was a waste of a roster spot, and Ryan Edwards from Orange and Blues, the state-run radio station down the way, said, "Oh, that's a hot take that Paxton Lynch doesn't deserve a roster spot." I said, "No, that's not a hot take. Here's a hot take, and I agree with this too. And you, as Broncos fans, should agree with this as well. Paxton Lynch, I would trade straight up Paxton Lynch for Trevor Siemian today." I would trade Paxton Lynch for Trevor Siemian.
Let's put that on our Instagram poll. We'll put it on our Facebook poll too. But after this Saturday, we'll put it from the first half of the game. Would you take Siemian over Lynch?
Yes, you absolutely would.
You would. You don't know what fans would do. Tell us what you would do.
What are the fans saying? Well, you tell us. Would you trade Paxton Lynch for Trevor Siemian straight up right now because I would. I am looking out here across this field.
Have you been watching Siemian?
Has Siemian in practice?
Yeah.
No, but I've seen Siemian practice before. I know who Siemian is as a quarterback. He was the Broncos quarterback last year.
Yeah.
So, obviously.
But a year ago and today are totally different. Unless you're Paxton Lynch, then it's exactly the same.
Let's see. Wade says, people should be able to live their own lives under their own terms, but all too often others dictate the course of your life, making you miserable. That's true. Jenna busting your nonsense and keeping it 100?
Who said that? Who said that? Craig?
Wade said that.
Wade.
I don't even know what he's referring to.
Good looking out, Wade.
What are you referring to, Wade?
Busting your nonsense. You're always talking nonsense on the show.
I would trade. That's not nonsense to say I would trade Paxton Lynch for Trevor Siemian.
Was talking about. I think that came through a while ago.
Oh, that Isaiah McKenzie's.
Maybe it was on a topic.
Terrible.
Before. We've hit so many topics.
All right. Okay. I guess we can talk about the depth chart now. It was very important.
Like we already have.
The depth chart. Here's what I want to know. Who's going to be the starting running back, and what percentage of the carries is the starting running back going to get versus the rest of the running backs? Because I am of the belief that they are basically going to do running back by committee. They have Royce Freeman, and they want Royce Freeman to be the guy, obviously. But Devontae Booker is number one in the depth chart, so I think that's going to be running back by committee. D'Angelo Henderson's third string. I don't know what their plans are with him, but he seems to be in the doghouse all the time.
It's not like a wife and husband relationship. He's in the doghouse with the team.
Yeah. He's in the doghouse with the team. Wade says, I would trade. Why would I be talking about his wife? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, but you're making the analogy that the team is like a wife that is like putting you in the doghouse all the time.
No.
When else are you in the doghouse other than with your wife?
The team? Or your boss? Or
I've never been in the doghouse with a boss.
Wade says, I would trade them both for a pack of Hubba Bubba, and I don't chew gum. Patrick says, if you don't chew big red gum, fuck you. Yeah, sure.
Now we're having a gum debate, huh?
I'm just saying that Paxton Lynch he has gummed up the Broncos in a way that I have not seen a player gum up a franchise in a very long time.
Has he gummed up the Broncos, or is he just gummed up John Elway?
Jamarcus Russell gummed up the Raiders for a long time, but that's because they had to pay him a massive contract back before they adjusted the rookie wage scale. But Paxton Lynch is just this big stick in the mud that prevents the Broncos from doing a lot of things that would make the team better.
But
he takes up a roster spot. He is hurting their ability to find a legitimate backup quarterback because they don't currently have one. He gets nothing done in practice, so you're basically wasting plays for everybody else out there anytime Paxton Lynch is on the field. And then on top of that, a lot of their decisions to get rid of other players has been dictated by the fact that they refuse to move on from Paxton Lynch. They moved on from TJ Ward because of money that could have been freed up if you got rid of Paxton Lynch. They moved on from Aqib Talib because of money. And all of this in an attempt to go after Kirk Cousins, which didn't happen, and you still won't get rid of Paxton Lynch.
But at this point, isn't it the same? Isn't it going to cost the team the same amount to let him go or keep him?
What?
See?
I'm sorry. I was reading that Wade says your tree-sized legs and towering stature nonsense.
Yes.
No, I'm not tall,
Short.
but I'm 5'11". That's not short.
You're not 5'11".
I am 5'11".
Are you like 5'11" on the basketball roster?
No. I am 5'11".
Coach puts out. To
No,
make sure
I was
the team
6.
looks bigger?
In high school. I was 6'1" on the roster. That's
shrunk.
where they listed me. I'm like, I am not 6'1". I am not 6'1".
I bet you, and you guys can ask for it if you want. I bet you my legs are either equal size or bigger than TJ's legs.
No.
Yes, we are totally
No.
have the same size legs.
No.
That is what
No.
TJ's body is very slender.
Isn't that good? Isn't like 60% of America obese?
I guess.
I'm
But
I'm keeping things svelte.
what's svelte?
Svelte, thin, big red, hubba bubba, gummed up the team. Nicely done, folks. Yep.
Ooh, my mom's watching. Hey, Mom.
Mom's on?
Yeah, my mom's on.
Cheryl. All
That's
right.
right.
Hey,
You
what's
said
up, Cheryl?
hi to Cheryl the other day.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I had forgotten about that. My apologies.
Yeah, you
Cheryl.
should know who Cheryl is. How have you not know?
Don't take it personally.
He doesn't know anybody's name. He's barely ever listening to anyone. He's just listening to himself talk.
All right. So what were we talking about earlier?
Paxton Lynch sucks. You
Paxton
hate
Lynch
him.
is terrible. He
And
is. He's bad.
Depth chart.
I do want to talk about this a little bit more with the Aaron Rodgers contract thing, and just in general his outspokenness. Before we move on here,
I cannot believe you compared him to LeBron James.
yeah, he is. He is the LeBron of the NFL.
So he created a school for children?
I think he will at some point. I think once he gets to, you know, what would help that if they gave him a fucking contract. That's what would help with that.
He has a contract.
He doesn't have a LeBron James contract. He doesn't have. They don't have the ability to do that. In fact, he would
He's
prefer
old.
that
That's
the league operate under a soft cap because then they would be allowed to actually pay stars real salaries.
I would prefer if the NBA didn't have the soft cap, that they had a hard cap, so that we would have. It wouldn't be such a star-oriented game.
You don't want it to be a star-oriented game?
No. I want it to be team-oriented. We
What?
have had this argument 200 times.
But that's a terrible idea. Every sport is star-driven. And I don't care what sport you're talking
You
about.
just said a second ago that football wasn't star-driven.
No. What I'm saying is that the impact a single player can have in that sport is lesser. But still, the stars drive the league. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have been driving the league's popularity for 20 years. And they're one of the primary draws. Aaron Rodgers is a draw. Von Miller is a draw. Those kinds of guys have greater financial value to their organizations than they're currently being compensated as. And the fact that every single time the NFL owners go into any sort of contract negotiation, they make it a knockdown, drag-out fight, it has created this enormous animosity between the players and the owners. And that culture, the rigidity of the power structure in the NFL is very militaristic. It's and it has created a lot of
I'm pretty sure
it's
people
created
in
a
the
lot of
military
animosity.
are making a lot less money. People who actually are doing good things for the world are making less money than these people. Why would they continue to pay? It's just greed. It's like so much.
Oh my God. Craig's hitting on your mom.
Oh my God.
Craig in the comments is hitting on your mom. Your mom said hello, and Craig says if you're not first, you're last. Jenna's mom, you did good. Then Craig says nursing home time, gilf hunting.
Is nursing home, that would be offensive to my mom. She's still young.
Well,
and
she
hot.
said thank you, and then
She said thank you to us for saying hello to her.
Craig said older the berry, sweeter the juice. So
Craig.
I think Cracker Craig is amazing.
Craig is pretty old himself.
That's just
Craig, tell us how old you are, because you might be as old as my mom. That's quite possible.
Is your
actually.
mine single? I can't remember.
She is not single.
She's not. I didn't think. Okay.
My parents are happily married people.
All right, it's okay. All right,
My
fine.
dad will
All
kill
right,
you
it's
guys.
fine. It's okay. It's fine. Jeez. Man, getting all defensive for no
Yeah.
reason.
I got to defend my dad. He doesn't have a Facebook.
No, I was just asking a question. You
You met my dad.
Did I?
They came to that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
To,
did.
to Henry's.
I did meet your dad.
Hello.
I did. I
Oh
did.
my goodness.
Very nice man.
He's not going to be a fan of you anymore.
He's a very nice man. Was he ever a fan?
No,
What?
because I think we were doing too many shots the night that he came.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I don't think he was a
Your
fan.
mom agrees with you. Shocker.
I agree, of course. Hey, actually, that is a shocker. Like, growing up, my mom was like, the sky's blue, and I'd be like, red. It looks red to me. We were not very agreeable, so that is kind of a shocker.
To get back to Aaron Rodgers, though, he has decided to use his platform to enact change, the kind of change that he wants. He's outspoken about issues, much more so than he was earlier in his career, because that was kind of the way the NFL operates. Tom Brady is, is like Michael Jordan in his approach. He doesn't want to offend either side of the aisle, so he's going to just he's going to keep it quiet. And then Aaron Rodgers is the opposite. The fact that Aaron Rodgers is outspoken about what he feels and believes, not just about football, which, I mean, he said that the effort of the Packers yesterday was piss poor. And
the team or of the
team. He said the team's
So
effort
he's
was
calling
piss
out
poor
his
at practice.
teammates.
He is calling out his teammates. And he has gotten some flack for this by doing it publicly, but I don't like people loved the fact that Peyton Manning was out here very publicly berating his teammates as a Denver Bronco. Every practice, he would come out here and he would just yell at people who weren't doing things the right way. Aaron Rodgers did the exact same thing, and now he's getting ostracized for it. It's very disingenuous.
By who? Who's upset about this?
A lot of fans.
Fans of the
And
Packers?
Sean Drotar, who was talking about it earlier. But no, he's decided to use that platform to give his opinion about things, which I encourage. That's why I like Marquette King. That's why I like Richard Sherman. That's why I like all of these guys who are willing to express themselves, because those are the kinds of things that make sports more interesting.
I think you should give your opinion, but if you're going to give your opinion and you have this great platform, like do it to stand up for the little guy. Why are he's standing up for himself. He's going to get himself more money. That's all he cares about. He's not doing it for anybody else.
Craig says, "Are you gonna eat your Jello?" To your mom, and then
Craig,
she responded,
"You're picking on my mom. She's such a nice lady. Like, why?"
She responded, "I'm at the gym right now and been married for 28 years."
Yeah, go mom.
And now Wade is saying that I have triggered his 9-year-old. He said, TJ, my 9-year-old is watching your stream for the first time. For whatever reason, you've triggered him. He literally called you a jerk, but isn't telling me why. LOL.
High five to your 9-year-old.
How? How do I get that? I like kids. I mean, they're little terrorists. I mean, they really are.
Yes. So, no wonder they don't like you.
No, I like kids just fine. They're heathens. They're savages.
Okay.
I was at Elitch Gardens earlier this week, and some of the children just running around parentless at that place. It was terrifying. It was really bad. It was Lord of the Flies out there. They had taken over several rides. There was a quorum being held at the haunted house. I don't know why there were all of these unattended children at Elitch Gardens, but there were, and they were all covered in condiment sauce. They were dirty. Some of them weren't wearing shoes. And I think at one point I did see a toddler just pull down his pants and crap right in the middle of the park. And
you did not see that. You're making that up.
Children are savages. They are animals. They don't.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. It
but
really
you did
is.
not see that happen.
That's children.
That is a new thing, though. I have heard of that. A bunch of my students, I used to teach 4th grade, and a bunch of my students will tell me, like, they've gone to Elitch's, and I'd be like, who took you? And they're
Patrick.
like, nobody. I went by myself. Who's letting their kids go to Elitch's? My mom didn't even let me go when I was in high school by myself.
I know. It's crazy. Especially down there. It's kind of in a sketchy part of town.
It a little bit is, yeah.
Patrick says kids are the shit, always truthful. That's true.
That's true.
I do like that about children.
So
they speak the truth.
Said you're a jerk. Truthful. Always truthful.
No, they don't know. Children can't make that kind of judgment call.
You just said.
If they know something's true, they'll say it because it's true. But like that's a judgment call, and children lack enormous judgment. They have no judgment.
No way.
That's why
judgment. They can judge a good character a mile away.
That's why children aren't allowed to vote or buy porn or cigarettes because they lack judgment. That's why we have laws. Because if we had no laws, children would run roughshod through this country.
They're good judges of character. I'm not saying they're good judges of should they buy porn.
How do you back that up? How do you back up children are good judges of character?
Children always can tell what people are nice people. They can always tell what people are not going to are mean people. Just like dogs. My dog is terrified of TJ.
No.
She's scared of you.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Because he's a scary guy. He's not trustworthy. Children are the same exact way.
My dog loves me.
Because you raised it, it obviously has to love you because it's like afraid you're not going to feed it or something.
It's also a boy dog.
Girl dogs are typically more in love with male owners.
Well, girl dogs though are really they're very scared.
They are not.
They get nervous easier.
I don't think that's true.
Let's see here. Do we have any more comments? Kids are like dogs. Adults have good judgment. Well, not all adults, but adults have better judgment than children. And children have better judgment than dogs. I mean, not by much, but it's...
No, children have better judgment than adults.
I'll tell you a story really quickly about children and dogs. My wife and I were in Phoenix, and we were there for Royals Training Camp a couple of years ago. And one of her friends lived there, just had a kid, and so we went over there to see them and talk to them for a little bit. And they had their kid there in the house, and this is a nice little kid. He's old enough to walk, but barely. He's got his little tennis shoes on. It was great. This is, adorable kid. And he handed me this ball. And so what I did with the ball was I threw it. And then he chased after it. And, yeah, I played fetch with their child. And I caught myself right in the middle. I was like, I'm playing fetch with your child like he's a dog. And his dad laughed and said, yeah, it's okay. I do it all the time. It's true. Children are basically dogs. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
Look, it's a dog that slowly learns how to talk. That's what a child is. Having a child is like having a dog that slowly learns how to talk.
But children, they really are good judges of character. They can always tell when somebody is safe and who is not safe. And I don't know what it is. I think they have a sense.
All right, well, Patrick is signing off. See us shortly. So thank you very much, Patrick. Thanks for
Patrick.
watching. Okay, yes, yeah. Children are like dogs. They absolutely are.
We're we've offended so many groups of people today. Well, mostly you have.
Why did I offend it? I didn't offend anybody.
You offended players. You've offended coaches. You've offended the league, the owners of the league.
Well, the owners
You've
of the league
offended tennis now.
I mean, well, tennis is a sham, and I think that all of the NFL owners are frauds and they're disingenuous hypocrites. And Isaiah McKenzie is terrible. Paxton Lynch is a waste of a roster spot. What have I not said?
Do you have anything positive to say
All of that
today?
is true. Well, I did. I had the one positive thing I said was that I loved Aaron Rodgers, and you hate Aaron Rodgers.
I don't hate him. I just think that he does have a great platform, and he could be using it for so much better things than getting himself a bigger check.
Well, he does. He talked about LeBron James. He defended LeBron James against the Donald Trump tweets and all that stuff. He came out publicly.
Everyone defended LeBron in those tweets.
Well,
even haters of LeBron defended LeBron
true.
in those tweets.
You hate LeBron James.
I don't. That's not true. I hate what he's done to the league and turning it in the sense that he turned it into a LeBron James show. It's also incredible to me that that he was capable of doing that. That's impressive.
Did you not like the league when it was the Michael Jordan show? Did you not like the league when it was the Magic show?
See, I feel like when Michael Jordan, first
the Larry
of all,
Bird show,
you're getting
the Bill
past
Russell
when
show,
I was alive.
The Wilt Chamberlain show, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar show.
Yesterday, TJ told me, by the way, that in 1996 I was dead.
What? You weren't alive?
I was alive. I was definitely alive.
But you don't remember anything from 1996?
Not much, no. But I'm just saying I was alive, wasn't dead. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
1996.
It doesn't matter. G. Garcia says, "What have I missed?"
So much, G. So much. TJ's offended everyone.
I didn't. I don't
He
believe.
hates all people. He's negative. He's giving off negative vibes into this Denver Broncos training camp. Haven't you heard about that? The negative vibes
I've
thing?
been very positive. Positive vibes. Good
When?
vibes.
Where?
That's every day out here at practice. Been very positive.
Okay, tell me 3 positive things about Paxton Lynch.
About Paxton Lynch, he's tall.
Okay. Count
Um,
that. That's more of a fact than it is a positive thing.
he looks like a pirate.
Is that positive?
He's a good dancer.
Oh, how do you know this?
I've seen him dance
Where?
on the internet.
Oh. In a club or on the field?
No, it was in front of a green screen.
Oh.
Yeah, just Google Paxton. I don't tell you to Google anything. You don't know how to use Google. All right, that's going to do it for us here at noon o'clock. Live on Phantom. We're here live out at Broncos Training Camp. Don't forget, go to betdsi.com, enter the promo code PHANTOM, and you'll get up to $2,500 matched on your first deposit, which means you could get a couple grand for free. Essentially, free money at betdsi.com. So enter the promo code FANTOM at betdsi.com, and you'll get that excellent deal. And also, by the week's end, we'll give you 4 season-long wagers to make that are going to make you money, and you can make that money at betdsi.com.
When
Also,
are you going to give them to him?
Friday.
Oh,
I just said that.
I thought you said today at the end of today's show.
No, Friday.
Also, it's pretty friendly, BetDSI. Like, I know nothing about betting. I'm not a bettor.
It makes
I'm
it
no
easy
good
to
at it.
understand.
It's pretty simple.
That's good.
So if you're into betting or not even into it, but you want to start, it's pretty simple. It's not
Yeah.
too hard, not too complicated. I liked that about it.
Your mom says she's trying to learn something about football, and we're not helping her. That's fair.
We'll try again tomorrow.
That's fair. Also, Brent Malia Properties with Coldwell Banker. Go to tjsagent.com. If you're looking for a house in Denver, he will help you out. He helped us in a huge way. Also, if you need help with your mortgage, buying, selling, refinancing, does not matter. Go to PlatteRiverMortgage.com. Ask Sean Sedita how he helped my wife and I get the best possible rate on a mortgage for our home. So if you're looking for a mortgage in Denver, PlatteRiverMortgage.com, and if you are looking for a house in Denver, TJ'sAgent.com, Brent Malia Properties with Coldwell Banker. That's going to do it for us here at noon o'clock, live on Phantom. We'll be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.